Hello everyone, welcome to Venkanna English Guru. Friends, are you seriously preparing for UGC-NET, JL, DL, PL or SET examinations in English literature? If yes, this video is for you. And in my previous videos, I made couple of videos on how to read a poem for examinations like UGC-NET, SET, JLDL examination. If you really want to improve how to read a poem for competitive examinations, if you are seriously looking for, this video is for you. And in this video, I am going to talk about how you can read the lengthy poem and the poem which is composed in more than 159 lines, the Ode Tintern Abbey, which is composed by William Wordsworth, how to read and this for different competitive examinations. And I am going to give you in a short span of time, see. And when you talk about Ode Tintern Abbey and the poem Ode Tintern Abbey, and this is written by Wordsworth and the narrator, the poet himself, this is an example for ode. All odes are examples for lyrics, the personal expressions of the poet, and this is an example for lyric and ode. And other names, lines composed a few miles above Tintern Abbey, or simply Tintern Abbey, or Tintern Abbey, or simply lines. These are the different titles of the poem Tintern Abbey. And this is taken from Lyrical Ballads published in 1798 as a part of Lyrical Ballads along with different poems. This is the last poem of the collection Lyrical Ballads published in 1798. And setting the banks of the river V, very important my friends. And what kind of meter has been adapted? And blank words, iambic, pentameter, line, stanzas, 6 stanzas and 159 lines, a very lengthy poem. And a rhyme scheme, there is no rhyme scheme. Rhyme scheme is not followed in this. And beginning line, very important. And 5 years have passed, 5 summers with the length of 5 long winters. Very wonderful beginning lines of the poem Tintern Abbey. And the ending line, more dear both of themselves and for thy sake. Remember, what are the important lines of this poem? And 5 years have passed, 5 summers with the length. Nature never did betray the heart that loved her. Very popular line from and emotion and the spirit that impels all thinking thoughts and rolls through all things. Look on nature not as in the hour of thoughtless youth, but hearing oftentimes the still and sad music of humanity. What a wonderful line that he actually uses. What is important? So to understand a very lengthy poem, what is very important? We need to understand the images, symbols that are being used in the poem. If you understand that, the process of receiving the central idea will be very easier. So pastoral forms, the organized trees in the garden, wreaths of the smoke, livelihood or inhibition, beauteous forms, the pleasures of nature, another gift, having the pleasures of Tintern Abbey, the process of revisiting the banks of the river V, Tintern Abbey, second time in 1798, the author previously visited in July 1793. After in 1798, he visits the second time along with his sister Dorothy Wordsworth. So the burden of mystery, the tensions of the physical world, and that serene and blessed mode, recollecting the pleasures of the beauteous forms previously. This corporal frame means the physical body or the world, the power of harmony, the deep power of and the joy life of the things, spirit inside or the true essence of life, the fretful stir, anxious bustle, and Sylvian way, wooden river, and half extinguished thought, forgettable thought, the courtsed pleasure, the spiritual happiness, the sounding cataract, the sounding waterfall, aching joys, the pleasurable feelings of nature, all thinking things, human beings, all thinking things, a lover of meadows, the poet, and all the mighty world, the nature or the God, the anchor of my purest thoughts, the nurse, the guide, the guardian of my heart and the soul. Very wonderful images were used to describe nature. And perchance, perhaps, my dearest friend, dear friend, here the friend is Dorothy. And evil tongues, the sneers of selfish men, the superstitious feelings, and lofty thoughts, great and broad thoughts, the dreary intercourse of daily life, the mechanical practice of life, and wild eyes, the poet's recollection of the things about the place, and the worshipper of the nature, the poet, and exhortations, encouragements. So all these are various important images. When you read that and when you read the original text, and it becomes easier to interpret the text in a proper way. And the phrase aching joys and sober place are examples for aching joys in this oxymoron. Remember, my friends, what is the broad main theme of this Tintern Abbey? Tintern Abbey is a monologue. It's a monologue and with the sister Dorothy, and it deals with childhood memories. It's autobiographical poems. There are three important autobiographical poems composed by Wordsworth: the Prelude, Tintern Abbey, and Ode Intermissions of Immortality. These three are considered to be the autobiographical in nature, and this is one of them. Childhood memories of communication, communion with the natural detail, and it's imaginatively spoken by a single speaker to himself, referencing the specific objects of its imaginary scene, occasionally addressing others. One, the spirit of nature, occasionally the speaker's sister, Dorothy. And it opens with the speaker's declaration of that 5 years, that is 5 years have passed since he last visited this location, encountered its tranquil rustic scenery and the heard murmuring waters of the river. He recites the objects he sees again and describes their effect upon him. And the steep and lofty cliffs impresses upon him thoughts of more deep seclusion, and he leans against the dark sycamore tree and looks at the cottage grounds and the orchard trees whose fruit is still and ripe. So he recollects what he visited, what we had seen previously when he visited for the first time, and he recollects for the second time. He sees the breaths of the smoke rising from the cottages' chimneys between the trees, and imagines that they might rise from vagrant dwellers in the houseless woods, or from the cave of hermit in the deep forest. The speaker then describes how his memory of these beauteous forms and has worked upon him in his absence from them. When he was alone in crowded towns and cities, they provided him with sensations sweet, felt in the blood and felt among the heart. And he offers a prayer to nature that he might continue to do so for a little while, knowing, as he says, nature never did betray that heart that loved her. So if you really love nature, it is not going to cheat you, and it is the human being who can cheat nature, and not the nature and which is going to cheat human beings, and that leads rather from joy to joy. It is autobiographical poem, my friends. So subscribe my YouTube channel Venkanna English Guru for more videos and interpretations of English literature, English grammar, and pedagogy of teaching English. Okay, thank you for watching. Like our video, share our video to your friends and classmates. Thank you all.